again today. I decided to put myself in a corner over here. Now, this is either the craziest idea I ever had, or it's just a way to switch things up and also just to make sure that I connect with you today on this live stream. All right, hang on, let me reposition a little bit. Oh, it doesn't matter. Y'all know I'm using a mic, right? Okay. So, if you're wondering where I've been, what I've been doing, I have taken a deep dive into learning about the Amazon influencer program. And not only am I learning about it, of course, I'm using it, but I'm also doing training sessions. I have shared in my community tab, and I share on Twitter and TikTok that some of the training sessions that are held inside of the Logie group, I have led some of those training sessions. And I actually, I think I told you before, I call it a think tank. It's like a think tank of Amazon influencers that share their experiences and share their wins and, of course, their losses. And the group, the Logie group, is actually on Facebook, but we do these calls on Friday. They're done on Zoom. All right. So let's see if I need to get a little bit more light here. I don't know. I did turn a little light on, but I don't think it did anything. That's okay. Let me try one more thing. It's a little bit brighter. It's kind of a gloomy day here in Philly. And so I was depending on sunshine. Oh, in fact, the clouds are starting to spread. And here comes the sun. Yay! It was waiting on me to go live. Okay. So if you're here, if you have any questions about the Amazon Influencer Program, go ahead and drop them in the chat. One of the things that I covered and we talked about recently is about during doing product research. Product research is one of the key things that you want to do once you're up and running with the program. You've been in the program for a while. You want to decide whether or not you're going to actually invest in buying products or trying to get those products as samples or free samples so that you can review them. Now, what's important is in order for you to make this decision, you don't want to just go and just, pick things out of thin air like, oh, that looks good. Maybe I should try that. What you should do is set yourself a list of criteria that you're going to use to determine what you're going to invest in. Now, one of the other Logie friends that runs the training sessions, her name is Altovis. Shout out to my girl Altovis Pelzer, because one of the things that Altovis always says, and she's known as Altovis Unmuted here on YouTube and across the interwebs, is know your numbers. That's the mantra. Know your numbers. And this is how you can, and I got to say, this doesn't just apply to Amazon Influencer Program. It applies to really any of these affiliate e-commerce retail programs that you're getting involved in. And it may even spill over into other things in the affiliate marketing world. Okay. So what do we mean? What does she mean by know your numbers? Know your numbers means to go into your dashboard, whatever kind of dashboard you may have, based on the platform. You know, an Amazon influencer, we have our um, reporting dashboard that we can go into. One is for offsite and one is for on-site, and we can look and see what products we're selling, even what products are popular. Even some things on your phone can tell you like the categories that products are in that do well. And before I go any further, I want to definitely give a shout out to the folks at Logie, and that's Logie. If you are an influencer, you absolutely want to join Logie. Okay, so make sure you do that. I'll leave a link, but I'll tell you right now, it's Ileane.link/Logie. Logie will connect you with brands. And actually, what happens is they have brands that have connected with them. And those brands have said, hey, we will pay higher commissions. And this way, you don't have to go back and forth negotiating with brands or waiting to get paid. You would just find the products, or Logie will match you with products and send them out to you for review or for free, I should say, so that you can do an overview. And from there, you don't, that's it. Once you start making conversions, making sales, you start earning the higher commission. So if you like what I'm saying here today, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I don't see any thumbs up. I do see some people here, but I don't see any thumbs up. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think, or just say hi. And like I said, if you have any questions about the program, let me know. In the meantime, I'm just going to double check because, like I said, I'm in a setup that I'm never in. This is my first time. My friend, Mr. Rodney, he's so kind. He rearranged my bedroom for me. And so um, I'm actually in a spot in my bedroom that I'm never in. So hang on 1 second. Always, my girl Janine from Boss It Live always told me always have a second device. So hang on. Okay, there you go. I just wanted to make sure the sound was working. Yes, honey. So so here we go. So when you're doing Amazon influencer, Walmart creator, Target, LTK, and shout out to your girl. She just got into the LTK program. Hey, LTK, thank you. Any of these affiliate e-commerce retailers, you want to do product research at some point. Of course, you talk about the stuff you already have and that you own already, but after a while, you start running out of that stuff, or new stuff comes in, or seasons change, or the holidays, or whatever. So you want to make informed decisions about the products that you're going to be promoting. So here you go. I want to start with you with a list. Now, this is not really a checklist, but these are some things that I want you to consider to put on your own checklist. Okay? Your own checklist. All right? Because uh, each one of us has a different journey, a different path. And I just want to make sure that you have all these bases covered when you're starting to do your product research. So, as I mentioned, know your numbers, your category. Oh, and before I go any further, I mentioned that Alto Vista is the one that always says know your numbers. My mantra is test, test, because we see it all the time where, and when I say we, I mean all of us that have been in the program for a while, we see people come in and they say, what is working for you? Horizontal or vertical? What is working for you? Really long or really short? How many videos do you have? How many this everybody wants a blueprint, and you really can't give people a blueprint. Being part of a community is a big deal because, as we all know, things are constantly changing. So even if somebody gave you a blueprint 6 months ago, it probably don't work right now because everything changes. All the platforms change, all the rules are constantly changing, constantly need to be updated. And as I mentioned, seasonality and um, the holidays and all that stuff is always changing. So, in addition to having yourself a checklist, you also want to test. Now, I'm not saying don't ask people what's working for them. That's not where I'm going. But where what I'm getting at is because I might say, "Oh, vertical videos just work fine for me." And plus I like that I can repurpose them. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, what if I did say that? But then someone else comes and says, "Oh, I use horizontal and horizontal works for me." You have to test. You have to test. So know your numbers and test. All right? That is actually the fun part of doing all this. Oh, besides when you get paid. That's another fun part of it, too. All right. So the categories, these are things, remember, this is uh, an expanded list of things that you choose from to make your own checklist. Okay. So the category that the item belongs in, is it fashion? Is it home decor, crafting, um, gardening, tools, appliances? Be aware of that. Are you selling those things? Do you have 50 videos about crafting, but you never sell or convert any of them? But you have 5 videos about fashion, and those $10 shirts are just flying off the shelves. Maybe you just need to have higher end fashion. So the point is to know your categories, know the categories that convert well for you. All right? Now, when you're looking at a specific product, let's just say, oh, these earrings. This is about the only thing that I have on today that is from Amazon, besides my skincare and all that. These earrings come in a 6 pack. You get small, medium, and large in gold, and small, medium, and large in silver. These are the large gold. All right, they also sell them at Walmart. Now, you want to look at that product before you decide to buy it, invest in it, or to promote it. And do you want to look at the sales volume? Like, if if Amazon sold 50 of these in the last month, because Amazon will tell you right on the product listing, if it's more than 50 sales in the last month, it'll say that right on the product listing. Okay. Or you might say, 50, is that all? What about, 500 or 1,000? You set your own parameters. You may only look for things that sell 5,000 a month. Okay? So have that on your list, category and sales volume. Then ratings and reviews. This is super important. One of the reasons why Amazon is number one and is so far and away above everyone else is because of their ratings and review system, where customers, not influencers, not associates, but Amazon's customers, and they have their own community guidelines, have come in, they bought a product, they've come in and they've gave their feedback about it. They thought it was, the stars go from 1 to 5. So They've either given it a 5 and left a review and said, "This was great. These earrings were the perfect size. They lasted for years. They um, didn't make me break out, whatever the review is." Okay. Let's say there's 100 reviews on a product. Amazon will collate those and give it, because you have to do ratings and reviews. So if you're going to say something about a product, you also have to give it a star rating. So Amazon will take all those star ratings and collate them and say, this product has a 4.8 or a 3.2. Now I can tell you right now, if it's got a 3.2, you probably don't want to invest in it. You want there to be a reasonable amount of star ratings. Now, I'm not going to give you a number, but I will say it should start with 4. If there's a lot of threes, twos, and ones, that's probably not a good product for you to invest in. All right. And you probably don't want to waste your time even looking at it. I don't care how many they sell. Because another thing that Amazon will do, and I don't see any other retailer doing this. I don't see Walmart doing this yet. They may eventually, but Amazon will tell you at the top of the page or right below where the pricing is, it'll say frequently returned item. So if an item gets a lot of returns, Amazon lets you know. And I see that personally. I see it a lot when it comes to fashion. And I know from my own experience as a shopper, yeah, a lot of times I will return if it doesn't fit exactly the way I want to. That's the thing about buying stuff online. Sizing differs from one manufacturer to another. So, what may be an extra large or a 2X for one manufacturer may really be a 1X. And so the 2X person gets it and it's like, I can't get this thing on. Then you send it back. And because I'm an influencer, I don't leave a rating. But if I was just a regular customer, if I wanted to, I could go and leave it a rating and a review and say, mm, I only give it 2 stars because it's labeled as a 2X, but there's really only a large or a 1X. And so I couldn't even get my toe in it. So that's never happened. I'm just saying. And thanks. I see the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So here we go. Category, sales volumes, ratings, and reviews. Also, another thing you might want to consider, is there a promo code or some type of deal being offered for that product? A lot of times they have coupon codes. So if you're promoting that on social media, you want to tell folks, hey, this is a great buy. I really, got whatever value out of this particular product. And also get it now while it's on sale, because these coupon codes, they come and go so quickly. It's not one of those things where you're just going to leave it in your cart and maybe tomorrow you'll check out, because tomorrow that coupon code might be gone. So coupon codes or promo codes, sometimes the brands will give influencers a promo code, or there's a spot in Amazon that we as influencers can go in and see all the promo codes. So that may be something else that you want to consider if there is a coupon or promo code. Next would be, what about if you have a relationship with the brand? In other words, you have received free product from the brand before for your overview, for your shoppable video, or for your promotion on social media. And because of this, you've gone back and forth with the brand and negotiated the pricing or how much they're going to pay you, what they're going to do with your video, and so forth. And so you may develop a relationship with them. They may say, "Hey, we got a new product coming out. We want to let you know. You want to, check it out." There's all kinds of um, different levels to the relationships that influencers can have with brands. So if you have a relationship with a brand, especially if that brand puts out a lot of different products, that's actually a great thing. You know, of course, keeping in mind the products are good. I'm sure you don't want to have a relationship with a brand whose products suck, right? So, yeah, keep that in mind. And I also want to give you this is a time for me to mention that Logie has an affiliate program now for those of you, if you're a brand and you're watching this, please, please, please let me know. Leave me a comment and we can connect because Logie is now offering those folks who are affiliates the opportunity to invite brands to come into the Logie ecosystem. And it's a win win for everybody. The brand gets all these influencers that will promote their product and make shoppable videos for them. So it gives them a lot of visibility. So if you have that relationship, let me know. Now, here's another thing to consider. I believe this is very unique to Amazon. Some of the other retailers may be testing this off and on, may not be that consistent with it, but this is something, and even Amazon tests this sometimes too. It's something that we call the carousel. The carousel. And what the carousel is, when, especially on desktop, it's really visible on desktop. You may or may not notice this as a shopper. You may or may not notice this on mobile. You have to hit a little caret that says videos. But if you're on desktop, you'll see up at the top. Now, this doesn't apply to fashion because in fashion, they don't have an upper carousel. It's what we call the upper and the lower carousel. So at the top, there's videos from the brand, but there's also videos from influencers. And this is how a lot of Amazon influencers earn their commissions because people will watch their video and then that video answered this question for them. It provided value for them some in some way and it made them uh, it helped them make the purchasing decision. Like say for example, I this is not an Amazon product, but let's just say it was. It's a thermal cup. This is where I keep my vitamin water actually is in there, but I have the white one for my regular water. Say you wanted to know how big this is. So I'd do a video and I'd show you how big it is. And I would tell you how long it keeps things hot or cold or other questions that you may have as a consumer. So you watch that video and then you go and you purchase that product. Then that way I would earn the commission. So there's an upper carousel and there's a lower carousel. Now, with the upper carousel, of course, it kind of makes sense. There's more chances for people to see your video because it's up at the top of the page. But you scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. There's a lot of information from the brand. The brand may have one of these things where they're showing you other products that they sell. Amazon may suggest other products, but then you go down to the bottom of the page, the bottom of the product listing, and you can see a lower carousel. And then sometimes there's stuff even below that. But anyway, the upper carousel and the lower carousel. You may want to look to see if there's a lot of videos in that upper carousel. Because if there's a lot of videos, you might say, hey, this is a great remote control. This is a remote control for the light, the actual light that I'm using right over there, which I can't show you right now. This is great, but that whole carousel is full with other influencer videos. I'm not going to waste my time. Or you might just say, hey, I can do a better video than the ones that are there now because I just watched all those videos and they didn't answer any of the questions that people are asking because you can see the questions that people are asking because Amazon has this little AI tool called Rufus, and Rufus will let you know what the questions are that people are asking. You actually can read the reviews that customers have left, and they may have a complaint or a consideration that you may want to cover in your video that nobody else covered. So this is, there's a science behind this, y'all. There is a science behind it. I don't have all the answers. I'm not even trying to say that. I'm just saying I want to open your mind to all the different possibilities of things. And because I'm talking about this and reading questions from people all the time, I know it's funny because in our session on Friday, someone said, "How many hours a week do you spend on Amazon?" And I'm like, "I don't know, a lot, a whole lot," because I'm reading questions that people have. I mean, Amazon influencers. I'm looking at product listings. I'm looking through some of these things that I'm telling you guys about when you're doing product research. And yeah, I spend a lot. And then I'm preparing for my sessions on Friday in the Logie Zoom call. So yeah, I spend a lot. And now I'm talking to y'all about it. So, but like I said, the things that we're talking about right now are not just limited to Amazon. Oh, and by the way, shout out to my Uncle Jerry. His name was George, but we called him Jerry. I don't know, that happened before I was born. This was his mirror, or it could have been my grandmother's mirror, but it was in Uncle Jerry's room. So I said it was Uncle Jerry's mirror. Shout out to him. Rest in peace, Unc. I love you madly. And as I'm looking at it and on my phone, it's making me think of him. So, George Powell Jr., rest in peace. All right. So, another thing you would consider when you're doing product research, your access to the product. Maybe you don't have it, but your sister has it, or your neighbor has it, or you're at an Airbnb and they have it. So that, this is something else. Sometimes there's access to products in other places. Like, uh, honestly, I was at a funeral 2 weeks ago. Very nice funeral home. And in the funeral home, they had this coffee maker. And I was like, oh, I bet you that's on Amazon. I picked up my phone. I opened Amazon. You can use Amazon Lens. And I used Amazon Lens. Sure enough, it was there. I made myself a cup of coffee, filmed the whole thing. And yeah, so I had access to the product. So all this other stuff that I just mentioned didn't even matter because I had access to the product. I just made the video. I couldn't tell you how many people were on the carousel. I wasn't, like I said, I was at a funeral, but this was during the time before everything started. So, because I'm always early, I'm an early bird. I even started this live stream early, but that's a whole nother story. So, anyway, your access to the product. There. Oh, Michael's here. I thought you were about to say coffin. I didn't look at the coffin, but you know what? Michael, business growth ready. Thank you for saying that because hey, I didn't look at the coffin, but and I don't know if Amazon sells coffins, but I won't be surprised if they do. Oh yeah, it was a coffee maker. And it's funny because a coffee maker that I use at home, um, I don't think Amazon sells it. So I already checked, and that's why I was like, well, I'm not going to make a video on this one. But when I saw that and it was a popular brand, I know that brand is very popular. And I was like, let me just make this video and I just have it Even if I don't post it, I just have it. All right, so now there is a program that Amazon launched a couple years ago called Creator Connections. So when you're doing your product research, this is another thing that you might want to check. Is that product in Creator Connections? Because let me tell you, it's very similar to Logie in some ways. Of course, Logie's better, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But in Creator Connections, the brands are offering higher percentage. And this is coming directly from the brand. I mean, you're seeing it in your Amazon dashboard and you only have access to it through your Amazon dashboard, but it's coming directly from the brands. Okay, so Creator Connections is definitely something. And if you're an Amazon influencer and you never looked at Creator Connections, stop what you're doing right now. I don't care. Stop listening to this video. Go and sign up for Creator Connections. More than likely, you have access to it unless you're brand new, because this is for associates and influencers. You just have to accept. That's the difference between, well, that's one of the differences between Creator Connections and Logie. With Creator Connections, you have to find that campaign and you have to accept it. If you don't accept it, you could make 10 sales on that particular item, never know that there was a Creator Connections campaign, and you won't get the extra commission. Whereas with Logie, you don't have to accept anything. You're a Logie influencer. If any of those Logie products are sold by you, you don't even have to know that it was on Logie. You're going to get that commission. You don't have to accept anything. You accept it being a Logie influencer, and the commissions are higher. Typically, the commissions are higher on Logie than they are on uh, Creator Connections. All right. So, another thing you might want to consider, this is, I'm kind of like, hmm, getting down to the nitty gritty now. These things may not be as important as the things that I mentioned prior, but it may be something that you might want to look at. Is it, um, does the product have that little Amazon choice badge? Hmm, that's usually a sign that it has high ratings and that it sells fast. So it kind of covers the things that I talked about earlier about the sales volume and the ratings and reviews. It's only going to get the Amazon Choice badge if it's got positive reviews and it's selling, because Amazon has got this great feedback from their customer base about a product. And they also have something called best sellers. So let's just say you're looking for, I'll just use something random, a broom. You're looking for a broom, right? We all need a broom at some point in life. And you just type in broom. You'll see that there's an option where you can go to bestsellers. Look over on the left hand side, I'm sorry. I use my right hand, that's why I said right, but it's on the left hand side. That you can tap on bestsellers and you can see the number one through, I think on that first page, if you're on desktop, I think you could see up to like 25 or something on that first page, but you can go to the second page, third page. I think it goes all the way up to 100. It just depends upon how many um, are in that particular product that you're searching for. You can see those best sellers, and that may be something else that you want to keep in mind when you're doing your product research. Now, typically, the best sellers have lots of influencer videos already. But I don't want to let that stop you. I don't want you to think, because I talked about the carousels earlier, and usually there's a limit of 6 to 10 videos in that upper carousel, the one that's more visible to folks. But I don't want to let that stop you because, like I said, your video could be unique. And we have no control over whether Amazon places our video in that carousel or not. They and it's all done by, uh, I'm sure, machine learning. I don't want to use those two letters that everybody's scared of. AI. You know that they will rotate people in and or people's videos in and out of that carousel. The pay, and I don't know what it's, we assume that it's based on conversions. If the person's converting well, they probably won't lose that carousel spot, but we don't know that for sure. Because, honey, let me tell you, there has been times when I was selling one of my videos was converting very, very well, more than one, but I'll just say use this one as an example. It was a blouse that I kept like every day I was selling this blouse. Now, that's a good thing, right? But I was only making 40 cents on every blouse. But still, I was like, oh, I had some sales. And I'm like, oh, that blouse again. Darn it. There's that blouse. But it's okay. I mean, everything can't be a high price item, especially when you do fashion, right? So then all of a sudden, I stopped getting the sales. I'm like, what happened? It rotated out of the carousel. And it's not because it wasn't converting, in my opinion. Maybe somebody else was selling 100 blouses and I was only selling five. I don't know. We don't, they don't tell us that stuff. They're not transparent when it comes to that kind of thing. Okay. And, I guess in some ways that's okay too because, people always try to game the system. So you can't give away too many of your trade secrets. And besides, it's not being done by humans. So people who probably trained that I'll call it an algorithm, even though that's not really the right terminology. But people who probably train the algorithm probably don't even work there no more. So, there's that. All right. So here's another thing. Here's now because I am in the YouTube affiliate shopping program. And thank you to YouTube for that. I absolutely, y'all know I love YouTube. If you ever been around before to any or watched any of my videos, undoubtedly I love me some YouTube. Okay. YouTube has this extension that when you're on a product page anywhere, it doesn't have to be Amazon, it could be anything. It could be Best Buy, it could be CVS, whatever. You're on that product page, you click on that extension, and YouTube will let you know if one of the retailers in the shopping program has that product. So, for somebody like myself who is a Walmart affiliate, also, that is great because a lot of the things that are sold on Amazon are also sold on Walmart. And how do I know? Because I click that little YouTube extension and find out if it's on Walmart. So now that's going to impact my decision because all these things that I just talked about the ratings, the reviews, the category, the sales volume, upper carousels, and all that don't apply to Walmart. So I might, let's just say I wanted to buy something. I need to buy a broom. And I'm not going to say, oh, all the top best selling brooms on Amazon are filled, the carousels are filled, so I'm not going to buy it. But then I find out it's on Walmart. It doesn't matter. At Walmart don't have carousels yet. So, hey, I can buy it and add it to my Walmart storefront or, add the video to my Walmart storefront. So this is another thing, we're getting down into the real nitty gritty now. This is why I am so excited about all these possibilities of how things can work for us as influencers, as affiliate marketers. And that's where it all started for me with affiliate marketing. Amazon is just another one of those affiliate programs that I joined. And because it's so huge and covers so many different kinds of products. It has my attention right now. And I see the possibilities. I see the possibilities. And if you are someone who um, thinks that they want to go down the path of the Amazon Influencer Program, I implore you to sign up for it. Now, something else that I didn't talk about yet is the international storefronts. So, of course, I'm a, an influencer in the US, but I'm also an influencer, an Amazon influencer in the UK and in Canada and in Australia and in Singapore and France and Germany. So if you're listening to this and you're not in the United States, check to see if your country has an Amazon influencer program or associates program. You can start with the associates program. And then after you get all signed up and set up, come back to this video and watch it. And I guarantee you'll find some great tips that you hadn't considered prior. And do leave me a comment and let me know so I will know that this information is valuable to you, as well as that you are doing well with affiliate marketing, because the beauty of affiliate marketing and everything I've been talking about today is you don't have to build a product. You don't have to build a product. You don't have to ship the product. You don't have to handle customer returns. You don't have to worry about people complaining about this, that, or whatever. You do have to make the platforms happy. You want to keep Amazon happy. You want to keep YouTube happy and all that. But you don't have to worry about each and every customer that says, wait, I thought the button was going to be zero point 0.3 centimeters and it's zero point 0.4 centimeters. So I don't want that. You don't got to worry about that. And even when it comes to the other thing that I'm passionate about as far as affiliate marketing is software. I'm an affiliate for Ecamm Live and for StreamYard. Yes, I still love me some StreamYard. And by the way, let me know if y'all want to hear about some of the new things that StreamYard is rolling out, because they rolled out so many new features. And even for people that are on the free plan, I do plan to do a recap. I'm waiting for them to stop, like take a pause for a second to so I can like do a recap, but every week, more and some weeks more than one update during the week. So I'm having a hard time keeping up. But software is one of the things that I also that's really how I got started with the affiliate marketing, is with that. And this whole online retail thing is something else that I think that as a shopper yourself, if you're not an Amazon affiliate, as a shopper, I think you may think that people don't want to hear from you, but yeah, people want to hear from you. And you don't have to have one of those white kitchens with everything in its place. I know we all want to have that, right? And living this fabulous life. They don't care. People just want to learn from others. Like, what was your experience with this product? That's why customer reviews are so important on Amazon, because they just want to hear from regular people, not commercials, but from regular people. You have this product. What's your experience with it? Have you had it for a long time? If you haven't, you just got it. Say that in the video. Hey, I just got this in. And so I'm going to tell you about it. You know, like for example, these lights. Now I got this from HSN. I got these a couple years ago. Wait a minute. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Oh, you can't see it. It's turned green. All right, you can see it coming off my hand that it's green. Right? Red. I love these lights. Oh, there you go. On a different angle, you can see it. I love these. In fact, these will be tagged in the description of this video. As a matter of fact, there's one more thing I need to tell you. I want to make this a separate thing. A lot of times you see influencers talking about products here on YouTube, but you're not sure how to shop for them. So, there's a couple of things. If you're watching a short, there might be a sticker on the short, and you can tap that sticker and shop at the specific retailer that has the product. Also, if you're watching on your TV, or the influencer may have put a QR code up, especially if you're watching on a TV, you have to have your phone nearby so you can scan the QR code. Also, the links could be in the description or in the pinned comment at the top of underneath the video. So, those are all the ways that you can shop for products on YouTube. I want you to get into the mindset of knowing that YouTube is another place where you can find deals. All right, I wanted to make sure I said that so I can make a little short out of that little segment because I found out that one of the reasons why people aren't, they're clicking on my, but they don't realize how they can check out. So that's how you check out. You just tap. Just tap. You look for the QR code. You look for the link in the description or uh, in the first pinned comment of the video. So, with that, Michael, thank you for joining. There's other folks that joined, but you haven't said hi, so I didn't know you were here. That's okay. Leave me a comment later and let me know if you have questions. If you ever have any questions about the Amazon Influencer Program, like I said, I spend half my day answering questions or at least reading through. Maybe someone else came through with the answer before I got a chance to. And that's okay too, because at least it confirms in my mind, okay, that's my experience as well. So I'll just give it a thumbs up or I'll say, you know, that's my experience as well because we all need to stick together. Some of these platforms are not as transparent. So we have to inform one another about, like how to navigate what's allowed, what's not allowed, what's your experience. We all have different experiences, and that's why I love the Logie Think Tanks on Friday. So stay tuned. I usually post it on post here on the channel, and I've done that in the past as well. Hey, Kay Walk, how you doing, Professor? Principal Walker. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, and we meet on every Friday. We usually have two meetings, one at noon Eastern and one at 2 p.m. Eastern. But if you're in the Amazon affiliate program or influencer program, make sure you sign up for Logie. It's 100% free. I've been enjoying the info. I need to sign up for the program. Yay! Yeah, that's right. It's that time of life for you where you can transition into other things. Yes, 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 yes. And, with your experience with the movies and all that, Amazon Prime is great with Audible and, of course, books and all that stuff that you have so much knowledge about and expertise. So, thank you. Thank you so much for chiming in. And I will see you guys in the next video. Michael says, need to sort my Amazon game. Need to get some USA qualifying sales. Have to get some product videos done this week. All right. Yay. So I am talking to the right folks. And if you're listening to this in the replay, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know if you're also one of the right folks that wanted to hear this information today. And with that, it's your girl, Miss Ileane, signing off. And as always, stay beautiful.